Roy, could you just give us an update firstly on the squad, who's trained, who hasn't?
Who didn't train today? Gibbo didn't train, James McLean and obviously Wardy, so them three obviously doubtful. Although I think James is a bit more hopeful than the others for the weekend, so we've got a few days to play with, so it's not the end of the world.
After a bit of a break, how do you feel generally about the form of the squad, the shape it's in, the mood?
So far so good, yeah. Obviously that might change on Sunday, but no, we're all upbeat, looking forward to the match. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Again, we still have a few days to play with. I'm sure things will hotten up come Friday or Saturday, but again, as I said, we've got plenty of time to up the ante.
No longer having the dual role of club and country, has it helped you so far do your job for Ireland?
I hope so. That was obviously the aim when I left Villa, to focus on Ireland a bit more. Chance to get the games, see the players more often, and yeah. So no, that's not an issue. I'm very comfortable with the decision. I think it was right for everybody.
Wes Hoolahan looked like he had a bit of a knock there. I thought he came in with one boot on and one boot off.
Is that right? Yeah. I think he's okay. You know, when you're having games and there's places up for grabs, you know, players are going to get knocks in training. You know, it's not chess we're playing, so he'll be okay.
How important is he in an attacking sense? A game that really, ideally, we should be winning.
We should be winning. Well, it's easier said than done. It's a tough game, and obviously Wes, you know, he's done well for us since we've come in. Obviously Martin and myself, and hopefully he'll have a role to play. But I'm sure we'll gauge it over the next few days. As I said, lads know this place is up for grabs, and it's up to them over the next few days who takes that opportunity. But I'm sure if Wes starts, he won't let us down. He never has.
When you were playing for Ireland and for Manchester United, Old Trafford certainly was a fortress. The old Lansdowne Road here used to scare opposing teams. Not so much these days.
Used to scare the home team. Yeah, it's pretty freezing. No, again, if we want to do well in any campaign, you have to have a decent home record. And I'm guessing a lot of teams have come here and have probably enjoyed the Aviva. But no, it's up to us to be on the front foot. Obviously, get the fans behind us, which I'm sure there will be. The atmosphere, no doubt, will be brilliant. But that just can't come to the supporters. That's got to come from the players. As I said, being on the front foot, whether it be making tackles, creating chances, putting their bodies on the line, and that will get the fans right behind us. So we're looking forward to it. But of course, yeah, obviously the old Lansdowne was brilliant. Always a great atmosphere there. But you know, in terms of the atmosphere for Sunday, that's the least of our worries. That'll take care of itself. I think it'll be electric.
I remember big games though, the likes of Holland here, and you set the tone as captain during the week that week. Can you do that as assistant manager this week? No,
well, obviously I can't tackle anybody, can I? So it's very difficult. No, we've got good players, good characters, and as I said, creating good tempo in the game can come from anything. Some days it's a tackle, other days, as I said, please God, it'll be some goals. Players creating chances, good movement. So that can come from many aspects.
But there's a break in routine this week in coming to the Aviva. Often we just train in Malahide.
No, I think it'll help. Yeah, I think the players enjoyed it today. Obviously used to the surface. We've got one or two new lads in the group, and it's important to get a feel for the game, a feel for the pitch. And to be fair, the pitch looks lovely, and it'll be the same for both teams. No, we've got no complaints about the surface, certainly not.
You get as you know, Poland are a very pacey, counter-attacking team. How do you stop that threat here at Aviva?
Many ways to try and keep the ball, tackle them. And most decent teams are physically strong and have pace. You know, you tell me a top team that hasn't got pace in their team. So that's part of the game the lads have got to get used to. And they'll be facing that a lot of the weeks in the Premiership. As I said, many areas in terms of trying to keep the ball. And you know, tackling is part of the game. So we'll have to remind people about, you know, the physical side of the games, and we got one or two big lads ourselves, and we got, I think, pace in the right areas as well. So as I said, hopefully we can cause them one or two problems.
They're very good at the back. Have you, Martin, in your analysis, spotted any weak links in our defence?
Maybe one or two, yeah. But do you expect me to tell you? Or?
No.
No. I'm sure you've done your own homework on it, and no, you'd like to think that with any team, that there's areas you can get at, but obviously it's easier said than done. You got to prepare the players and the team, and hopefully, you know, we got one or two doubts, but if they can shake it off, and we got, you know, decent selection options, that we get it right. But you know, you can get at most teams, but we've got to be at our best. We'll have to be at our best to get a result on Sunday. No getting away from that.
Do you get the sense from the players that they realise it's do or die now in terms of
I'm
qualification?
not sure about do or die, and it's still early in the week. As I said, when I've been a player myself, the intensity usually rises 1 or 2 days before the game, because if the players are peaking on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, you're in trouble. You've got to just peak at the right time, and that's up to us as staff and obviously with the manager, just to make sure we just keep it with the training short and sharp and make sure they're ready for Sunday, and we'll be ready.
You've been to a lot of games over the last few months, but Harry Arter is the only new player in the squad. I think there's only 3 players under the age of 25. Is that a concern that there's not the players you would have hoped for coming through?
It's not a concern this week, because it's nice to have. We've got some experienced boys, and we need that experience on Sunday when there'll be parts of the game will be under pressure. We want a decent possession, so that's not a major concern for the long-term future. Yeah, you want players to come in through. So no, it's not a concern for this weekend. No.
Well, just on that, what do you make of this plan for Premier League clubs for there to be more opportunities for homegrown players? Is that something that could benefit young Irish lads?
To be honest with you, I've not really heard or seen anything of it. We've been too busy preparing our own players, and whatever these great plans are, we'll see how it pans out, but I've not been concerned by that, I have to say.
Since you broke through at Forest, though, maybe since the class of '92, obviously you played with it United, has it got harder, English lads, Irish lads?
Not sure.
Roy, how important are set pieces in this game on Sunday?
Well, set pieces at the highest level are vital. We see a lot of big moments in the big matches now, set plays. We know no doubt Poland, obviously you mentioned earlier, very physical but also aggressive with it, and our lads have to be the same. A lot will depend on delivery, so we hope 1 or 2 lads are fit from that side of it. But obviously set pieces do decide a lot of big games, and that could be the case on Sunday. So we have to make sure if we're getting in the right areas and we're getting up enough corner kicks and free kicks, we put the balls in the right areas, and hopefully we have lads on the day who will be aggressive and determined. You're talking about movement. It's also about lads who actually want to head the ball. You've got to be brave in that aspect. And as I said, we've got 1 or 2 lads, that we hope on the day will take that chance if it comes.
Roy Keane didn't start in Glasgow, right? And obviously with his goal-scoring record of being a home game, do you feel that that's the big decision for Martin?
We'll have to ask the manager. But, again, if Robbie starts again, we know his record speaks for itself. No doubt if we get the chances, we always feel Robbie will get the goals. But different horses for different courses. And Robbie's training, as usual, very sharp, and he's a goal scorer. And, we could do with him on Sunday. And as I said, again, no doubt the manager will decide over the next few days. But, as I said, Robbie's record speaks for itself. It's fantastic.
Can I finally ask you about Jack Grealish and the fact that he looks as if he has committed to Ireland. He said after his little gap year or his year out that he's going to come back.
That's good news. Jack's a good player. We just mentioned there about the players coming through. We need good quality players coming through, and for the bigger picture of Irish football. And fingers crossed he'll make the right decision, because a lot of time for Jack. He's a really good player.
Roy, looking back on the previous qualifying campaigns, draws that cost Ireland, do you think a win is vital this weekend?
Yeah, well, a win would be nice. Obviously, after the disappointment in Scotland, you can't have too many draws. Sometimes you get good draws and bad draws. The draw in Germany, no doubt, will be a good one. But our mindset is, when we're at home, is to go and win the match. Afterwards, we might think a draw wasn't a bad result, but our mindset before the game is let's go and try and win it, and get a foothold back in the group, because the slip up of Scotland obviously just makes us a slip up. We don't want it to cost us too much. But no, the mindset, and with the manager, the staff and all the players, and hopefully with the fans behind us, it has to be try and go and win the football match, of course.